And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. So look, Trump has begun my retribution. All right, yesterday, Trump and his team filed a motion to dismiss the Manhattan District Attorney case, the hush money case, as it's referred to. And guess what? My name was mentioned several times, as well as my podcast, Mea Culpa, in the motion papers. And I think it's important because it's the only case that's left of the 4 indictments initially brought that sought some form of responsibility and accountability by Donald Trump. But that too will not happen. All right. So I want to discuss this with you. And I want to do that by looking, for example, to start at the motion itself. So get the first part. People of the state of New York versus Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump's motion to dismiss. Next. In it, it says President Donald J. Trump respectfully submits this motion to dismiss the indictment. He wants the whole case gone and to vacate the jury's verdicts pursuant to CPL 210.20 subparens 1H and 210-40 subparens 1. Presidential Immunity Doctrine, the Presidential Transition Act, and the Supremacy Clause all require that result, and they require it immediately. So it goes on to say that yesterday in issuing a 10-year pardon to Hunter Biden, because this is all predicated on Joe Biden's decision, and I think it was correct, to pardon his son Hunter, that covers any and all crimes, whether charged or uncharged. President Biden asserted that his son was, and here's the quote, selectively and unfairly prosecuted and treated differently. President Biden argued that raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. These comments amounted to an extraordinary condemnation of President Biden's own DOJ. This is the same DOJ that coordinated and oversaw the politically motivated election interference witch hunt targeting President Trump by disgraced special counsel Jack Smith, the other biased prosecutors in Smith's special counsel's office, the SCO, and others. This is the same DOJ that sent Matthew Colangelo to DA Bragg to help unfairly target President Trump in this empty and lawless case. Next page. Following Danny's April 2023 announcement of their charges against President Trump, Danny allowed, here we go, yours truly, Michael Cohen, to seek financial benefits based on his status in the case. Cohen released more than 160 podcasts discussing President Trump, including a public declaration that he was not intimidated and ready to strike back. Okay. Other Cohen podcast titles included Ex-FBI Agent Tells Michael Cohen Why Trump is Screwed. Former Trump DOJ prosecutor says Trump is screwed, reveals all to Cohen, and prosecutor who investigated Trump hits him with crushing blows. Michael Cohen pounces. In a February 15, 2024 interview on CNN, yours truly claimed to be speaking on the basis of non-public evidence in the people's possession. In quote, I believe, based upon the information that I know, and based upon not just the documentary evidence, but the corroborating testimony from so many people, I believe that he will be found guilty on all charges. Well, no shit, he was. Next. During a March 2nd, 2024 podcast, again, my Mea Culpa podcast, that's one with the blue background icon, so check it out. Yours truly made false and defamatory references to President Trump as a monarch, dictator, the Führer, referring to Adolf Hitler, and the supreme leader, invoking the title held by leaders of Iran and North Korea, two of Trump's friends. Cohen also lied that President Trump would use his SEAL Team 6 to incarcerate Supreme Court judges, politicians, members of the media, and bring these billionaires to him to do exactly what Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman did. He hung these motherfuckers up by their neck until they signed over their wealth to him. And Trump will do the same thing, Cohen spewed. Listen, has any of this not been accurate? Seriously? Did Donald not say that he intended to use the military, maybe SEAL Team 6, to go ahead and to go after his political enemies? Sure he did. So what was I doing? I'm not allowed to have my First Amendment. Listen, they already fucked with my First Amendment constitutional rights once. I'll never let that happen again. That I can promise you. But this is just absolute nonsense. Why invoke me into it? Right? If you're doing it based upon the pardon, based upon the Supreme Court's ultimate decision on presidential immunity, what's the difference other than helping me to, I don't know, promote my podcast, Mea Culpa? I don't get it. But this is exactly what they do. They have to smash at everybody. They have to turn around and try to prove something that they know that they can't prove, but they have to do it. And this is the way that they do it. It's the way that Trump enjoys the fight. Now, I want to show you an article from Reuters that's discussing the same exact thing. Trump urges judge to dismiss hush money case due to election victory. That is the key issue here. And I agree with it, by the way, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Because yesterday, right, Donald Trump on Tuesday asked a New York State judge, that's Juan Merchan, to dismiss the criminal case in which he was convicted in May of 34 felony counts involving hush money paid to a porn star in light of his victory in the November 5th United States presidential election. In urging Justice Juan Merchan in Manhattan to vacate the guilty verdict and toss the charges, Trump's lawyers said having Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's case hang over him after he takes office on January 20th would impede his ability to govern. Next part. Merchan last month, he delayed Trump's previously scheduled November 26th sentencing indefinitely to give him a chance to seek dismissal. Prosecutors with Bragg's office, they supported the delay of the sentencing to give Trump the chance to make his case for dismissal, although they said that they would oppose that bid. Prosecutors have until next Monday to respond. Now, here's the crazy part. The judge has not indicated when he would rule on Trump's motion to dismiss and has not set a new date for sentencing either. So look, you've heard me say this, and I'm not the first one. It's a quote. Justice delayed is justice denied. Yes, that's a fact. Trump, who is the master of manipulation, the master of the delay, he did exactly what he needed to do. He broke all odds. This is like winning lotto 5 times in a row. He was on twice impeached, 4 times indictment. He's got the civil case with E. Jean Carroll, the civil case with the New York Attorney General for $500 million. $500 million. And he is 34 criminal counts of guilt by a jury of 12 here in the New York court. And yet he managed to delay not just these, by winning, not only by getting the nomination, but by winning the office of the presidency. Something that nobody thought was possible. Yours truly. I mean, yours truly included for sure. But it's not just those cases. Look at what's happened now to the 2 Jack Smith cases because they're federally based. They've been delayed so long, and I blame all of this on Merrick Garland. Things should have moved quicker. If this was Trump, especially with that bloviated piece of shit, Bill Barr, who I think needs to be investigated, and I certainly hope the Trump administration does that because they're no fan of his either. Not only did they take forever, imagine how fast Bill Barr would have brought these charges if it was against Joe Biden. Just imagine. All right, on top of that, Alvin Bragg came into office. He had Mark Pomerantz, a seasoned criminal lawyer, turn around and said, you got him. There's more than enough documentation and corroborating testimony from witnesses in order to bring the indictment. No, Alvin Bragg wanted to wait. Okay. All right, his office. Well, how long are you going to wait? A year? Year and a half? By the time that they brought that case, Trump was already making the announcement that he was intending to run, even though it was like 2 years in advance, 2.5 years in advance of the election. And he did it, and he did it, and he did it, and he delayed it, and he delayed it, and he delayed it. And it's why I believe that all day. And then, of course, you have the Fani Willis, the Georgia District Attorney case. right, for attempting to overturn a free and fair election. Well, I don't know. That relationship with the prosecutor, the additional prosecutor, sort of mucked up that case, where that case isn't even on the calendar anymore. So you see the point? You see what's going on here? Yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to delay the sentencing till 2029 when Trump comes out 81, 82 years old? Seriously? You think that hanging that over a president's head makes any sense at all? I don't. And that's why I said what I said in the Vanity Fair article. Put it up. Michael Cohen, the prosecution's star witness, calls for Trump criminal case dismissal. And I do. The American people have spoken and reelected Donald Trump. The former and future president's one-time fixer said, accordingly, I believe we must all acknowledge and respect the office of the presidency and dismiss the case forthwith. Why did I say that? I said it because facts are facts. I understand people want to see accountability. I would have liked to have seen accountability. Fuck, I was accountable for things that I shouldn't even have been held accountable for. Serious. And so what ends up happening? You really think that Donald Trump's going to go into the White House as the president? And if you respect the office of the presidency as I do, you don't want to see this shit hanging over president's head, that the day he leaves, Marine One flies him off to Air Force One to take him to wherever he's going. Next thing he knows, the following day, he's before Judge Merchan for sentencing at 82 years old. Seriously? You really think that that's going to happen? And I say all it does is it just mucks up the water. It just fucks us up. I don't want my president of the United States meeting with foreign leaders as a felon. This has never happened in U.S. history before. And yeah, I think accountability should have been had. And if we really wanted accountability, I'm going to go right back to justice delayed is justice denied. As far as I'm concerned, the manners to which that these cases moved, the delays, the stalls, the Supreme Court hearings on them, the appellate court hearings, the appeals across the board, delay, and the slow walking by everybody in this case, justice delayed, justice denied, plain and simple. And that's why I said what I said to Vanity Fair, and I stand by it. I absolutely 100% stand by it. And as always, thanks for listening.
Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.